Let's get on board then. Renisha Chenani, she's commodity analyst at Edelweiss, and she joins us live on the show. Renisha, hi, welcome. Let's start with the energy space first, and that really has been under a lot of pressure with high global supplies and the demand not really following up to that.
Hi Manisha, yes, you look at the crude oil prices, they are continuously falling in past 3-4 weeks, and I think this downtrend would continue in short term. We have seen that the geopolitical tensions have somewhat subsidized in all of the areas, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, or whether it's Iraq and Hamas. So I think this pressure is continuously on the prices. Also, the fundamentals are still very weak. We know supplies are at all-time high from US, and there are other agencies like EIA, IEA coming up with a forecast that we have good demand in 2014, but 2015-16 would be a lackluster. So I think everywhere there are negative factors coming in the prices. Prices even did not get much support from the geopolitical tensions in past few weeks, because the speculative traders or the big traders, if you look at the CFTC data, are not entering in this market or in the commodity complex as a whole. So bit of negative sentiment in the market is putting pressure to the prices. I think today is a day where commodities could see somewhat bounce back. So I am expecting a small bounce back in even crude oil prices. This is just a short covering, and prices could head towards 5,800. So buying could be initiated for the targets of 5,800 on the higher side.
Sure point. And what's your sense on the base metal space, Renisha? Because if you look at the copper prices, still again below $7,000 per ton. The supplies have been building up in most of the major warehouses, but the good fundamentals, the positive ones, really seem to be coming out of zinc, where the studies say that the first half has seen a deficit, and that may carry on for the rest of 2014.
Yes, Manisha, if you look at the base metal pack, which was the best performer in the month of July, August has been very much lackluster. The trigger that came in was the Chinese PMI data in the first week of August, and after that series of events that have followed, like growth concerns in Eurozone and US, and then China's real estate sector, which is pressurizing the prices. Even 2 days back, we have Chinese FDI number that showed that it is at the 17-month low. So this is somewhat pressurizing the prices in short term. But overall, if you look at the base metal pack, zinc and aluminium have improving fundamentals, so that would be much supported. A consolidation phase would be followed in next 2-3 days, and zinc is a better buy.
Well, the zinc, of course, as you were pointing out, Renisha, has been supported by the decline in inventories there. Remember, there have been concerns about inventories, and you have seen a decline in all the warehouses on LME and Shanghai. The US markets also have been trading on the higher side. But as Renisha was pointing out, it has been a good day today, where you have seen support continuing into the base metals, especially after the European markets have opened. So, Renisha, would you say that this sector also can see further gains, and would you call it correction on the higher side?
Sorry, I didn't get you. You're talking about base metal or precious metals?
Base metals, Renisha. And are you calling this gain a rally, or are you calling it a correction on the higher side?
I'm calling it a correction, just a small retracement. Again, prices could run up higher after this consolidation phase.
All right, let's talk about the precious metal space as well. And the previous week really wasn't so good, and we are just about holding 1,300 in sense of the international prices. How would you look at the gold prices now, Renisha, especially in the Indian markets as we head into festivities?
Yes, Manisha, gold is just trading around $1,300 from past 1 month or so, and silver is trading around $20 at COMEX. This range is majorly being followed. If you look at the demand perspective, is very much low. Even if we are coming up with a festive season, World Gold Council data suggests that the second quarter was very weak, where we have seen that investment demand was 56% lower on YOY basis. Even jewelry demand was very low by 30% on YOY basis. Supply was higher by 10%. So all this supply demand dynamics shows that still market would continue to trade lower. I think overall trend is still negative, and I think 27,000 to 27,500 is still on the cards in coming weeks to go. But for intraday, as prices are very much oversold in gold and silver, I am expecting a small bounce back here also. We could see some prices coming back to 28,850 kind kind of levels in intraday basis. Even silver seems to be heading up towards 43,100. So buying could be initiated for some only bounce back plays, not for the positional basis. Positional basis, my view is still very much bearish.
About silver as well, and how you are expecting a decline into that one as well. What would you tell a slightly longer term investor on how much of a decline or a support you can see in case of silver prices in India?
Internationally, I think $18 is a very strong support, and similarly here if you look at 40,000 to 41,000 would be a very strong support level where prices could bottom out again. So still 2,000 rupees downside could be expected from here. Sell on release could be a strategy that could be used on positional basis. And yes, 40,000 would be a good level to again have investment or accumulation done there, but still I am expecting a sell-off coming from here.
Fair point that, Renisha. We'll let you go at that. Thank you so much for joining us with your strategies on all of those commodities. So that's the view coming in from Edelweiss. The previous week on commodities has been bearish, but there is some opportunity buying coming in right now, and the European markets especially have seen a rebound coming in quite strong in that space. But with that, it's a wrap.